Hi, Carter. This is Miss Stalick. I'm really glad that you are feeling better, and we can't wait to have you back. I thought to help you kind of catch up with where we're at in math, I would make some videos so that we could be a little more interactive than you just doing some work out of a book. So I'm going to try to talk you through a few of our lessons. You missed a part of chapter 7, the end part of it, and then most of chapter 8. And I think after looking at it, we can get you caught up in about 6 lessons or 6 different videos. So these videos will be about 15 minutes each, and then you might have a little bit of homework to do after them. And if you email me back and, if we kind of correspond back and forth through email, I think we'll get you all caught up. So with that being said, I want you to make sure that you don't see the screen right now because I'm going to do a little math trick with you and I don't want you to see the directions. Just have your notebook out and I'm going to give you a few instructions. And then after that, you can flip your screen over and we can go through the lesson. All right, I would like you to pick a number, any number, and after you pick the number, I would like you to add 5 to it. And I want to take your result from that and I want you to double it. Then I want you to subtract 4. Then I'd like you to take that answer and divide it by 2. And then I want you to subtract your original number. And abracadabra, I think that what you end up with is a number 3. And hopefully, if you did everything right and if I gave the instructions right, you ended up with the number 3. And if you look at the screen now, you can flip the iPad over. 7-79 was us going through that. And then we had people at the tables try different numbers. So we're going to do that, you and I, right now. Hopefully, I'm going to pick a different number than what you picked. But a lot of people wanted to try 0. So if we look at that and we have 0, pick a number. We're going to add 5 to that, which would end up being 5, right? If we double that, it's going to be 10. If we subtract 4, we end up with 6. And then we divide that in half, which is 3. And then you subtract your original number, which was 0. We end up with 3. You can try it with one more. A lot of people wanted to try it with a larger number, so we picked 100. And we added 5 to give 105. We doubled it to get 210. We subtracted 4 to get 206. And then we divided that in half, which is interesting how people chose to divide it in half, but a lot of people said, let's look at that 6. Half of 6 is 3. Half of 20 is 10, so we get 103. And then subtract the original number, which was 100, and we end up with 3. So the big question is, what makes this work? So if we look at C, it says which steps made the numbers you chose increase. So if we look at the steps here, when did the number that we have increase? I'm going to have you pause the video right now and I want you to write out your answer. You can label this problem, ready? I want you to label it 7-79. You can make sure that you have your original number and the work you have for that. And then I want you to go, you can skip B because we did that one together. And then I want you to look at C. So write down C and I want you to put in there which step made the number you chose increase. You can pause the video right now and write out your answer. All right, so we should notice that it increased when we added. So it went from 0 to 5 when we added. When we double it, which we talked about in class, really means we're multiplying. Those were the 2 times it increased. The next question is, when did the numbers decrease? Well, I'll let you pause the video really quickly so you can write that down. Okay, and we'll find that the numbers decreased when we subtracted and when we divided. Okay, a lot of people noticed a connection here, adding and subtracting, right? Those are inverse operations or opposite operations. And doubling, which is multiplying, and dividing by 2, which is obviously dividing, are also inverse operations. So a lot of people notice that within these steps, kind of notice that what you did to make something larger, you undid it to make it smaller. So that kind of helps us pick up this trick a little bit. All right, D is a really good question. It says, how would we, or consider how this trick would be represented with math symbols. To get started, think about different ways to represent the first step of pick a number. Well, this is really important because it's going to be something we build on in the upcoming questions. And we know that in math, for a symbol, when we don't know, because you could pick a number, somebody else in class could pick a number, but it would be a different number. So those are all different numbers, and in math, when we are representing something we don't know, we represent it with an X. So picture-wise, it would look like this, right? The X tile. Or symbol-wise, we would represent it like this, okay? After we picked a number, we added 5. And I would want you to write this down. I should have prompted you to do that. Write this down for letter D. We're going to show each step using symbols as well as pictures. Okay, so this was picking a number. The next one was adding 5. If I'm showing it with a picture, I would keep my X, right? And I'm going to add 5. When I add 5, remember those are the unit tiles. With an expression, it would be X plus 5. Okay, the next step was double it. So we're going to take that original, or the picture that we had from the second step, and we're going to duplicate it, right? So we have the same picture, and we have to show how we would double this. Well, we would make an exact replica of it so that we have 2 of them, right? So this is what the picture would look like for that third step. Numerically, or with an expression, we could write that actually 2 ways. One way we could write it is that we have 2 groups of X, so we would say 2 X's, and then we'd add to that 10. Another way, which we're going to be talking about, is that we have 2 groups, okay? And now I'm going to put parentheses, and we're going to focus on what would be in each group. Well, we would have X plus 5. So this is 2 different ways to write the same expression, okay? And eventually we want you to know both of these ways, and we want you to be able to look at this and be able to write it using what we call the distributive property. Or if you are given this, we want you to know that it is equal to 2x plus 10. So we want to be able to go back and forth with these. That's why the picture makes such a big, is kind of an important step of it, so we can really picture it. The next thing that we do is we have to subtract 4. So I'm going to pause it so that I save a little time here. And then I'm going to draw the picture. I want you to draw it as well. We're going to redraw this picture, but then we have to show how we're subtracting 4. All right, I am back. So I redrew the picture, and now I have to show how I'm subtracting 4. I'm just going to write an X through them so that it shows that we took those away. Notice I took 2 from the top expression and 2 from the bottom. That will help us with our next step. We have to write the numerical expression. We could write it 2 ways. We have 2 X's plus 6. Or you could write that we have 2 groups, and what's in each group? Well, we have an X plus 3. Okay. The next step is that we have to divide that in half. So I'm going to show how I'm going to divide it in half. we only need half of that picture from up here. So I'm just going to draw what is in the upper half or what is in the lower half. So after we divide it in half, this is what we would have left. We would have x plus 3. And then the last step is that we have to subtract the x. So if I don't have this x, I'm going to be left with 3. So what we did for this problem was we took these steps and we showed it with pictures. So we showed each one of the steps. And then after we showed the steps, we wrote down what we had left. We're going to move on to the next problem. All right, we are moving on to 7-81. And for this, it says the table below has the steps for a new magic trick. I don't have a resource page for you, so I want you to write this out, this chart out. And then you're going to follow directions A, B, C, and D. And then in a little bit, after you're done, I will show you or go through the answers with you. So pause the frame right now, and you're going to go through these problems, and then we will go through the answers together. All right, I have filled in, I picked a number, and then I showed the algebra tiles. So you can just pause this and look at my work. The only thing I wanted to point out was that when I went from, if you look at this, when I multiplied by 3 and then I went to subtracting 3, notice how I took 1 from each of kind of these groups, and that helped for when I divided by 3. Okay, so that you could see real easily what was in each group. The A, B, C, and D were just asking you to fill out the chart. D just says explain how the algebra tiles help show that your conclusion in part B will always be true no matter what. Well, when I filled out these algebra tiles, no matter what the number is that I pick, notice that I end up with 1 unit square left. So I know that I'm always going to have just 1 unit square. Again, you can pause this so you can see my work and compare it to yours. If your algebra tiles look different than mine, please make that change in your notes. The very last problem that we're going to work on is kind of the opposite, the reverse, where they give us the algebra tiles and we have to give the directions and then put in the trial. So I'm just going to start it off with you, and then I'm going to have you pause it so you can finish it. In this one, it starts with pick a number. I know that is true because it's just an X. I'm going from an X to 4, so I'm going to write add 4. Then in the next steps, I want you to try to fill it in. When you are done, I want you to do the 3 trials and then unpause this so you can check it with my work. All right, I went through the steps and I said to add 4, double it, or you could have written multiply by 2, subtract 2, divide by 2, and subtract 3. And every time, no matter what, if you follow those steps correctly, you should end up with your original number. I want you to take a look at my examples because especially the first one and the third one, I used a decimal and I used a negative number. So take a moment to pause this so you can look at mine. Again, if your instructions or your steps are a little different than mine, if you had made an error, please change that on yours. That is the lesson for today. What I would like you to do for homework is 7-86 through 7-90. And after you finish that, could you please take a picture of it and email it to me? I'm adjusting your assignment a little bit, so this isn't in Canvas, but could you email it to me, and I'm going to make sure to put it within the gradebook so that you get credit for it. I hope this made sense. If you are confused about anything, email me. Otherwise, you can rewatch parts of the video, and have a great day.